Hey, welcome back to another episode of I Fight What You Fear with Richard Vega. And today's guest is a friend of mine, Sonia Rivera. She has been in the conservative movement fight here in the Houston area for a while. She's ran for multiple positions. She has been bold about her beliefs and just really has been a great networker and connecting individuals to different organizations and working. She's done a lot of great work in the Latino community. And so I want to thank you for coming on the show today. And let's just talk. Why is it important that you think for Latinos to rise up, step up? We hear a lot in the media about the Latinos vote is so important.
Yeah. So I think, first of all, there's so many of us. We're now over 50% of the population just in Houston. And I know across the country that's a similar case. So we need to take a stand on the things that impact our communities just because of the sheer volume. So, we become, and I really hate the phrase, with the unempowered majority. And, we need to help people understand how important their vote is. And a lot of people say, well, I'm just one person. But when you look at the multitudes of people that think their votes don't matter, then then we're talking about like the majority of the Hispanic population. One of the issues though is that when you don't get your vote out there, you're being represented by individuals that don't reflect your values. And I think that a lot of people think their vote doesn't matter because they may go vote for somebody and then that person doesn't get elected. So we do have to understand that it is a process, and I believe that if we help people understand that, it's a vote. So the more people we get out to support any given candidate or any given issue that we're trying to support, then the better, the more successful we're going to be.
Right. Do you think do you think most Latinos or Hispanics are conservative?
I believe that our core values are, I believe that, Hispanics, it's family first, God first, family, and we work hard. And so I believe that those are conservative values. We do come from a place where, it's a population that we know if we work hard, we're going to be able to support our families and provide for our families. We believe in, family is the biggest thing, is one of our biggest values next to God. And so I do believe that we're conservative. However, I think that the titles have been misconstrued in the communities where people think that conservatism means like far right or liberals far left. I think we've done a disservice to our communities by putting these labels on people, and we really need to speak to what's important to you as opposed to like putting a title or a label, and just really discuss like what's important to you. And I think when we do approach it from that perspective, people do begin to understand what that means in their life.
Yeah. We see a big push right now for votes in the Hispanic community, right? All across the nation. Mm-hmm. And I believe a lot like you believe. I believe like a lot of, when I say conservative, people right now, with the way our day and age is that automatically assume I'm this big far right person.
Right.
The extremist right? Neo-Nazi, right? We're considered Nazi now, right? Yeah. Latinos are considered Nazism right now because we believe a certain way. Anyways, and so you have two different spectrums of the wing. I call it the wings because you have the left wing and the right wing, right? But it's all part of the same bird. And we all have to be able to get to the middle part to be able to function better as a society. You don't have to think like me, but we can come to common ground to be able to improve our community. I had this, I do a lot of outreaches in the community. And one time, years and years ago, we were out, we had moonwalks, and I was serving the hot dogs to the community. Just went out there to feed them and just love on the community. And had a guy walked up to me and he refused to get hot dog. He was hungry. I said, "Oh, were you hungry?" He said, "Yes." He goes, "But I'm not going to take one of your hot dogs and chips and drink." I said, "Well, why?" He said, "Because I don't believe like you believe." I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Well, I don't believe in Jesus Christ." And I said, "Okay." I said, "But are you hungry?" And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "So, well, you could have a chips and a hot dog." And he goes, "Well, no." He said, "Because you're out here preaching Jesus and that goes against what I believe." And so I said, "Look, sir, you can eat if you're hungry. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care how you vote. if you're hungry and I have the food to give you, here you go. We can come to some common ground. You're hungry. As a fellow man, a fellow person, I have extra hot dogs.
Yeah.
You can eat, right? And there's a lot of big pictures. Like you're involved in politics. You do a lot in the movement. You're currently running for a position right now. And so your job was to be able to meet in the middle. And I think you actually do a good job with a lot of different organizations.
Thank you.
You know, but maneuvering in the city of Houston, which is predominantly liberal, and being a conservative Latina, cannot be that easy.
Yeah, it's not. And it's very difficult. But I like what, you know, to your point about the man, giving a man something to eat. It's, my philosophy is like when we're in trouble, it's humanity. You know, it's humanity. And when we're in trouble, you know, I think after Harvey, I think back to Harvey, and when people were in trouble, we put our hand out to help people.
Yeah.
And that's just being a human being. Nobody stops to say, wait, are you Republican? Oh, okay, well, just stay there. Or are you Democrat? Or what color is your skin? No, when we see people hurting, we all bleed the same. And we're all children of God. And so I look at anything that I approach from that perspective. It's not easy because people do put a label on you and they just put you in a box. And I think I equate it to, you can't put me or anyone else in a box for that matter. You know, my ancestry is Mexican, from Mexico. And so, but I'm not Mexican enough. You know, I'm not Chicana enough. I was born in Michigan. I'm not white. I don't speak Spanish perfectly, but you know, you just don't fit into any box. And I think that we make a mistake when we put populations into a box as a monolithic group. Even working in the city of Houston, from the grassroots perspective, in the west side, we have Colombians, Salvadorians, Cuban, and in the central of Houston, we have Mexican American. Different areas of Houston have different populations, so I can't pretend to know everything that each group, their culture from each group, just because they're Hispanic.
Correct.
I know we share a language, but then some people don't even speak Spanish; they speak Portuguese. You know, so we just don't know, and I think that's the biggest mistake that individuals make is trying to put them in one box and saying, this is who you are. First of all, we can't go into somebody's house and say, this is who you are. You can't come to my house and tell me who I am. You don't know me. So let's get to know people and see where they're coming from. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we're going to find out that they are, for the most part, God-fearing people, that they are people that love their families and just want to be able to provide for their families.
Right, of course. You maneuver in a lot of different organizations. You worked in the nonprofit organization for some years now. And you really have worked with a lot of different organizations. You're currently working for an organization that actually targets and helps the Latino population. What is that you're doing? What is it like? And then what's your message to those?
The Libre Initiative, again, gets put in a box. So the Libre Initiative works to remove barriers that prevent people from reaching their full potential. And I really like the philosophy of the organization because it matches mine. It's teach a man to fish, and if that's conservative, then I guess that's conservative. But teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime, be able to provide for their families. Anything that's hindering people's ability to be successful in their jobs or being able to move their children forward through the educational system, the economy, those are all issues that we address and the impact that it has on our communities. And if we look at voting, we tend to look blindly. We don't really make informed choices necessarily. Many do. Many really take the time out to learn the issues. But a lot of people look into or buy the rhetoric, that's on social media, that's on the news outlets. And they're very skewed. All of these outlets are very skewed according to what they believe people need to know. And we go back to the policy and how the policy that's being implemented impacts people. And then from the community level, providing resources, providing education in the areas that we think they need in each community.
I love it because you've actually helped our community by partnering with me, and we were able to target citizenship for those that need citizenship, ESL, English as a Second Language, and GED classes. Right. And I tell you, that is huge for our community, especially with so many people that have come over, from other countries that are trying to better their lives and be able, like you said, teaching them how to fish. How many people can't move up in a job because they don't have their GED? Right. Or they're trying to learn English so they can be able to do their job better or to grow in their job. Yeah. Or simply saying, you know what, I might just go back and visit my country. I may never go back. Let me get the citizenship because I love it here. Right. Maybe they just made up in their mind, like, I'm just never going to go back. And that's okay. And you've helped provide, or a lot of these, I would say, successful stories to empower and to betterment people's lives. That's got to be a great feeling that you do.
It really is. I love hearing the stories. I love people, and so I love learning about their backgrounds and what their goals in life, what their dreams are, and helping them to achieve it. One of the gentlemen in the citizenship class, we actually did a video with him, and he said, he's a little older, senior citizen, but he's still working, and he has, a lot of barriers because of the language, particularly. But he is studying to take a citizenship test, and he said, so in his video, he stated that he wants to be able to vote for who represents him. So I really found that citizenship classes were my favorite from the perspective of being able to reach people and talk about government and government's role in their lives. These individuals that come to these classes are coming from governments that are very oppressive, where they don't have rights and their votes really don't count. Dictatorships, communism, socialism, and we can't. Being involved with this organization has been able to open my eyes more as to what those labels mean, because we live in a bubble. I mean, I was amazed when I started hearing stories from other countries. I thought, wow, like, we hear it and we read it in a textbook, but we don't live it. We live in this bubble that we know we can say whatever we want on social media. We know we can, freedom of speech. We know we can go rally. We know we can protest without fear of going to jail or any kind of persecution. Well, I say that lightly because
right. Well,
but
supposed to be.
Yeah. So, but we just can't. We can't really understand where they come from until we talk to them and learn their stories. And so, when they don't get out and vote or when they don't get involved, it's because they don't know, and they come from places where they really can't do that. So we have to figure out how do we reach them and be able to educate them on how our government works, that they can say what they need to say or what they want to say, that they do have the right to educate their children however they see fit, that they do have the right to worship God in the way that they feel works for their family. And so it's just a matter of reaching them. And so citizenship, I've found, because they're in the process of learning civics and learning about the foundation of our government, I find that that's like the best that's been the best avenue for.
Real quick, what's your education background?
Psychology.
Psychology?
And substance abuse. So it was a substance abuse counselor.
Counselor. Where'd you go to school at?
I went to a lot of places. So I was a single mom, and so I went to Lee College, and then I went to HEC, and then I went to University of Phoenix, and I wrapped it up at Ashford University. So awesome. I was a single mom, working full-time, raising 2 children, obviously full-time. Right. Try to get an education, so that's...
Hey, I graduated from University of Phoenix. Yeah. I did, so I know how it was. I was a single dad at that time, and, full-time job, full-time kids, and full-time school.
Yeah.
Wasn't easy, but our people are used to challenges, and we thrive.
Yeah.
And I love it. What do you, you're currently running for a position. Is it predominantly Latino in the community you're running for, right?
So it really is. It's a very, not unique, I don't think, but it's a very affluent area on one side of the freeway. It's literally that side of the tracks what side of the tracks you're on. It's a very affluent Anglo area in the Heights, and then across the freeway, a primarily Hispanic population. So it's majority Hispanic, but it is an area that, with all the growth that's happening in Houston, there is a lot of new construction in these neighborhoods, and so there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of the 45 expansion impacting older generational homes, and so that's a big issue. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. You know, bike lanes. There's so many issues along with the low education entertainment, along with the low income. You know, on one side you have maybe the median income is $100,000, where on the other side the median income is $40,000. So,
Right.
yeah,
It's a lot of different challenges. It's a good mix, though. It's a mix of what our community is, right? Because we could be at the lower level, middle, upper, you know, and it's kind of just all kind of together.
Yeah. It's really interesting, and I am familiar with both sides, both areas. So it's a challenge that I welcome, because I think that, you know, once you navigate, you know, like I said, I was a single mom, so I went through the process as you were a single dad, and you go through the process of you're just trying to figure things out, you know, again. So I feel like I connect with individuals from that level, because I get what it's like to worry about, do I buy, you know, I got to pay the light bill. I have to pay the light bill. So, you know, I'm going to have to buy less groceries, or I'm going to have to buy not the groceries that, you know, my kids like, but I have to buy the fundamentals. And so I've been very, very blessed that I went through these experiences, because it made me stronger. I feel like it definitely made me smarter, but it gives me the ability to connect with people and want to give back, because, you know, sometimes you think back, you're like, man, if I knew then what I know now, you know, I could have been like, you know, what could I have accomplished? Where could I be right now?
Right.
But then, you know, I have to go back and think, like, I'm exactly where God meant for me to be. Like,
Right.
I went through these experiences so I could be the person that I am today, and I can give back in the way that I want to give back. So I feel, and I have had success. So I feel that I can connect with all of our populations from the perspective of need and desperation, and being able to overcome those obstacles, to the other perspective of having what you need, and being able to share what you have with other people.
Yeah, you know, you talked about buying things, man. You know, and you know, I struggled a lot, and over the years. And it's funny, because I have a lot of kids, and my older kids, if I take them to the grocery store and to go shopping with me, because I do most of the grocery shopping, and I cook. I love to cook for my family, but if we go down to cereal, right? So you have, you know, all the cereals, one whole massive aisle, but at one little corner of the cereal aisle is the poor folks cereal, right?
The bag.
It's the bags, right? It's the bags. And so my older kids, they won't even look at all these other sides. They will literally go to that section and just look and be like, which one you want, you know? And where the other day, I took my daughter, she's 10, I took her to the grocery store with me. And she's looking at all the boxes, and she's like, Daddy, can we have this? Can we have that? I'm like, yeah, get that, you know? And come home, and then my older kids are like, well, come on, some of my kids are in school. They're still in school. They're older, but they're in school. And they're like, Daddy, you got the boxes? You know, they're like, what? Like, and their whole upbringing, like, we never got the boxes, right? You know, it's just, but, you know, now we can buy the boxes, you know? But, you know, I get it, and I get the struggle, you know? But you're going to do great for the community when you win, and you're going to be awesome. You're a great resourcer. You're a great networker. And I think you're able to see people all the way from the struggling single mom to all the way to and all the life challenges that comes with that, and then all the way to the business people, because you've been in the business world and you have functioned at different levels. And I think the community is going to be great to have you. And I hope they get out there and vote for you.
Thank you.
What do you think it's going to be a big win for the Latinos or the Hispanic community to get out and vote this go around?
You know, I hope so. I hope that, you know, we really do, as a community, that we really do take the bull by the horns and get involved. I really do. There's so many people working at the grassroots level. You do a lot of work as well. And, you know, getting people out there and getting them engaged is a challenge. And you know, and
why can't our community get loud and get involved, man?
Yeah. It's a challenge. And you know, united we're stronger. You know, I think that we need to stop being divisive and focus on what the issues are, because the issues impact everybody.
Right.
You know, potholes impact everybody. The cost of sewage, you know, your water bill.
Woo,
you know,
it went way up.
Yes. So, you know, road closures and road expansions, those impact everybody. Crime is horrible. And, you know, while there are steps, you know, being taken to remediate some of that, it's still bad, you know, and we're still lacking in terms of resources and strategies. And so those things are people that impact everybody. And it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. It doesn't matter where you stand on the economic ladder. It impacts everybody. And we have to stop, and I hope people are listening, that we have to stop pointing fingers at people and saying the Republicans and the Democrats and you, and it's his fault and it's her fault, because at the end of the day, nothing is getting done. Nothing. We have to stop attacking people and attack the issues. We're stronger together.
That's right. Are you a Republican or Democrat?
I'm conservative.
You're conservative. That people don't understand that. You know, that's what I say. That's the same response I say. You know, I tell them and they're like, "No, you're a Republican." No, I'm conservative.
Yeah.
I believe in the Constitution too. I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in the Constitution of the United States. I believe that we're a republic. You know, we're not a democracy, as what a lot of people will try to fly us under. We live and breathe the Constitution.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, "Oh, we're a democracy." No. Go look up the definition of a democracy versus a constitution.
Yeah.
Or republic. We're a republic. Let me rephrase that. A republic versus democracy. You know, and that's a big deal. And I stand firmly on that. And I would consider myself a strong conservative.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much for coming out. Do you have anything you'd like to say? How can people connect with you?
Well, just on the conservative edge, I tell people, like, you know, I love my country, I love God, I love my family, and I believe in fiscal responsibility. I believe in working hard to get what you want, what you need. And so if that makes me a horrible person, then I don't know what to tell you. But my website is www.soniarivera4houston.com. And I'm on Facebook. You can find me anywhere. Just Google my name and it'll pop right up.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
You.
Remember, go check her out. Say hi. Connect with her. She's a great woman of resources. Thank you for tuning in to I Fight With You Fear with Richard Vega. We love you. God bless you. Go out and be a conqueror, be an encourager, be a blessing to somebody.